ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् ஈரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழிகள் ஒரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
So we were talking about Karana Tantra section of Shaiva Agama. We are now reading that portion from Pancaratra Raksa by Swami Vedanta Deshika. Shaivaha sarva adhikari syat swakiyecha paratracha. Shaivaha sarvam prakurvanti ye grihasthaha. Visarga is missing because of conjunction. Dvijottamaha, dvija uttamaha. Yamale matratantra, sorry. Yatratantre, sorry, or Matratantre. So Matratantre, Kapale Pancharatrake, Bauddhe Va Api Arhate Chaiva, Lagude Vaidike Picha, Anyeshwe Picha Margeshu, Tatta Shastranusarataha, Shaiva Sarvam Prakurvanti, Tallinga Sthapanadikam. It's a very sweeping statement as you understand. They say that all temples belong to them, only to the devotees of Lord Shiva. He says Shaivaha and Advaiti is Sarvadhikari, has got all rights, R-I-G-H-T-S, Sarvadhikari, in the sense, you can also say dictatorship. So they are all dictators. Kodungol Mannan Solva Tamil. Kodungol Mannan. So Syat, so an Advaiti, that all Shaivas are Advaitis. And now the recent connotation only, which means Shaiva is different from Advaiti. No, they are one and the same. They are only synonyms. Shiva Bhaktas, as we mean, generally Shiva Bhaktas, devotees of Lord Shiva. Again, don't go to again Purusha Suktam and say Sabrahma, Sachiva, Sakarisendra, Sokshara, Paramaswarat, as they say. They add Harihi there. Sabrahma, Sachiva, Sendra, Sok. We say only this one. We give up that statement, that word. Sabrahma, Sachiva, Sendra, Sokshara, Paramaswarat. So that's what we say, but where they say Sabrahma, Sashivasendra, Sagarisendra, Sokshara Paramaswara. So the problem is with them, not with us. So Sarvadhikari Syat, he said. Syat. 6 meanings of lot lakara, what we call imperative mood. It is mandatory that all of them have rights all over all temples. Swakiyecha Paratracha. They are not only masters of themselves, that means their own tradition, but also in other places. Paratracha. That means they are interfering into Pancaratra and Vaikhanasa tradition also. This is a statement in Karana Tantra in Shaiva Agam. That doesn't mean they can have a sway over Vishnu temples. They think that Vishnu is Lord Shiva, or Lord Shiva is congruently equal to Vishnu. And again, can we have lingam as the symbol of called phallus symbol? Can we have lingam for Lord Vishnu? Whereas we always call him as divine figure with the Kalyana Gunas, unlimited auspicious qualities. So we never even accept what you call
Arupa.
Arupa, right? Good. Arupa Brahma. So we always have Surupa or Swarupa. So Shaivaha Sarvadhikari Syat Swakiyecha Paratracha. Now they say Shaivaha Sarvam Prakurvati. Initially, in the first line, there is a singular verb, noun, Shaivaha and Syat verb. Whereas in the second line, they say all activities are done by them only. They only know how to do worship. So Shaivaha Sarvam Prakurvanti. Prakurvanti. Kurvanti meaning they do actions. Prakurvanti means they do well. They do excellently well. Amazingly fine. Ye Grihastaha Dijottamaha. Again, there is a category, as I told you, a temple priest cannot be a brahmachari nor a vanaprastha because he is already gone to the forest, nor a sannyasi, a recluse, a mendicant, monk. He cannot take up the post of priest in a temple. But in Ahobilam Mata and other Andavan ashramas, the yatis, sannyasis perform puja only with respect to certain aspects. And they use also the what you call karpuram, the camphor to lit, so to light and then do nirajana. But that is different. They are not supposed to touch fire at all. This is a tradition that comes. Then Shaiva Sarvam Prakurvanti, the devotees of Shiva do everything well. Ye Grihastaha, they are householders, and Dijottamaha, they are the best Brahmins. Yamale, now this is a list of what are type of worship. So Yamale is Yama is the god of death, maybe. I'm subject to correction. Matra Tantre, meaning worship of the goddesses. Kapale, again Kapali is Shiva, one who has a alms bowl in his hand, Kapala in his hand, skull in his hand. Actually, the skull of Yamalas. Right, okay. So Kapali is because Shiva had the Brahmahati dosha of severing the head of Lord Brahma, and that was another context in which he did. Because of that, he is called Kapali. Fifth head. So Kapali and then Pancharatrake. Now they intrude into they interfere in our tradition. So Pancharatrake. Bauddhe. The tradition doesn't believe in scriptures. Therefore, but still, Shaivas want to have a hold over the temples of Buddha. Maybe Buddha may of course realize the soul. We have Buddha Avatara and the 10 avatars of incarnations of Lord Vishnu also. Va api arhate. Arhate is a Jaina tradition. Arhan is the name of the god for Jaina tradition. So va or api also arhate. So in that Jaina tradition, cha eva and also lagude. Generally, laguda meaning cricket bat is called laguda today. Laguda means stick. You can also ask. You can also say hockey. So lagude. So that means again, as we had Yamale, laguda is the name of a tradition, and Vaidike picha in the Vedic tradition. Anyeshu api margeshu. The Shaivas do not want to leave a stone unturned. Therefore, in all the traditions, in all the paths, PATHS, in all the roads leading to temple tradition, Tattat Shastra Anusarataha, according to the tradition, following strictly the procedures of the tradition, Shaivaha Sarvam Prakurvanti. They have all knowledge. Therefore, they do everything. They know everything. They are all Sarvajnaha like Sivanarayana. Shaivaha Sarvam Prakurvanti. But what do they do? Today we see many gods in a temple according to the taste of people, because they want income also, commercialized temples. So we got all gods in each temple. Tallinga Sthapanadikam, but whereas Shaivaha, the devotees of Shiva, establish or consecrate a phallus symbol in any temple or each temple. They want to overpower all others. They want to dominate over all others. This is a quotation from Karana Tantra of Shaivagama, which is not acceptable at all, because they cannot poke a nose into other traditions, poke a nose into the affairs of the other traditions. Mukhyatvat iha Shaivasya Mukhya Mahatmyataha api cha Adhikaraha asti sarvatra na anyesham Shiva darshane. Now, why it is so? Why they have the right to do everything? They know how to do it well. They know all the shastras, all the traditions. They only can establish phallus symbol and so on. Why? So this is the support given there. The same shastra, Karana and Tantra continues. So Mukhyatvat, because it is very important. Shaivasya Mukhyatvat. The devotee of Shiva is all important in the whole world. Then Mukhya Mahatmyataha Picha. The greatness is also very important. Not only the devotee of Shiva is important, but also the greatness of the priest is important. Then Adhikaraha Asti Sarvatra. He has right over every tradition. Everywhere, Sarvatra, everywhere. Adhikaraha, RAGHT, Asti is. Whereas nobody else can have right over having a vision of, spiritual vision of Lord Shiva. Na anyesham Shiva darshani. They have no right to have a darshan of Lord Shiva without the permission, or even with the permission of the priests who are the devotees of Lord Shiva. Iti. Nanu Pashupata Adhikarani. So there is another chapter in the Shaivagama called Pashupata Adhikaranam. Adhikaranam meaning chapter. Pashupata is Lord Shiva's chapter. Pashupati is Lord Shiva. Pashu means living beings. Pashu doesn't mean, as in Tamil, only cow. We are all Pashus, meaning we are all living beings. So Pashupati is master of living beings. It's a peculiar name to Lord Shiva. You can call Pashupati also, Narayana, Sriman Narayana also as Pashupati, but generally we don't do that. The word even Ishvara is said in Vishnu Sahasranama, Parameshwaraha. Shrigarbha Parameshwaraha. We have Vishnu Sahasranama word name Parameshwaraha, but generally Parameshwara has a connotation calling Lord Shiva. So Pashupada Adhikarane, in the chapter on Shiva, Pashupada is also a name of the missile which Lord Shiva possesses as an arrow to send through his bow called Pinakam. Pinakam is the name of the bow. And the bow in the palace of Janaka was Shiva's bow. And that was gifted to him by some sage. And that is what that was called Shiva's bow. Generally, Shiva's bow is named as Pinakam. So it's a Napumsakalinga word. Therefore, Dhanuhu is a Napumsakalinga word. And therefore, we have name as Pinakam.
So he is Pinakapani.
Pinakapani. And for Sriman Narayana, we say Sharngam. Sharngam. Again, Napumsakalinga word, neuter gender word. I am happy that Rajagopalan Swami has written the highest examination in the Chittur Samskrita Bhasha Pracharini Sabha, run by one L. Gopal, a gentleman. And he must now be familiar with all the books, about 8 books prescribed for the highest examination, Vidya Bhushan. Soon we will have a Vidya Bhushanam in Rajagopalan Swami. Therefore, he can understand more better than us. So, Pashupadadikarane, Patyuhu Asamanjasyat. Patyuhu Asamanjasyat. So, this is the way of reading. Patyuhu, Pati. When you say master, Lord, Prabhu, husband, and so on, so it means Pashupati here. So what happens is, Asamanjasyati meaning, it is not relevant. Patyuhu Asamanjasyati meaning, if you call Shiva as a master, the world's master, universal master, it is wrong. Iti Pashupati Pranitanam Shaivadinam Sarvesham Tantranam Apramanya Samarthanat. So they also say that Pashupati cannot be the master of the whole world. Pashupati Pranitanam, those who have written this chapter called Pashupati, that is or Pashupatam. Pashupatam is that which belongs to Pashupati. Either a weapon or any accessory or any decoration of Pashupati. Namely, for example, the moon on the head, the Ganges river on the head, the snakes all over his body, the hide of the elephant in his bosom. So many things. Kapala Mala, the garland of skull, all these are all called Pashupatam. So Pashupati Pranitanam Shaivadinam. The devotees of Shiva have composed this Pashupati Adhikaranam. Sarvesham, for all the Tantranam, for all the Tantras, Apramanya Samarthanat. They want to prove a non-proof. They want to give a wrong proof. Apramanya Samarthanat. When there is no evidence available in scriptures, they also say they don't want scriptures like a Buddha. So they say they are masters of the Buddha tradition also. And that means scriptures are relegated to the background. And then, so they want to prove something wrong. Some wrong concept they want to prove. So, etasmin api vachane. So, in this sentence also, in this expression also, etasmin, in this api also, vachane, in the expression, jinalayam pravishtastu savasa jalam avishet. Suppose somebody has entered into the temple of Jain tradition. He must immediately take bath with the dress with which he went in. He should not remove the dress and wear some other dress. That means the whole body and mind have become polluted. They have become dirty. Then he must enter into water. In the sense, he must take bath. So savasa means with the dress. Shastra always says that bathing must be done only with the dress. So by removing clothes, you are not supposed to take bath. Jinalayam pravishtastu. One who has entered into, but one has entered into the temple of Jain. Then Savasa, the god is Arhan. Arhan is a god. In I think Jaina temple or Buddha, they keep their holy books there. Holy books, they worship them as gods. So Savasa with the dress, Jalam Abhishet, enter into the water. Ityadibihi, by such statements, etc. Darshana, Sparshana, Adi, Ayogya Vishaya, Jaina, Yamala, Bauddha, Adi, Bahya Mata Tantraihi, Saha Samabhivyaharat, Vaidika Anarheshu, Bhakyeshu cha, Shaivasya Adhikara Uktehe. The sentence continues with the verse below. So what do we see here? Either to have a vision of God, darshana, and what you call the touchability, the right of touchability on God. You can't touch the God if you are not a Shaiva. So ityadibihi, darshana, sparshana. Darshana seeing and sparshana touching. So adi, etc. So you can't worship also, you cannot do archana. You cannot give shodashopachara. So adi ayogya vishaya, unfitting matter. The wrong matters. Where? Jaina, in Jain tradition, Yamala tradition, as just now Keshav Swami put it in chat. So Yamala tradition, Bauddha tradition, Adi, etc. So how are they? Bhakya Mata Tantri. They are out of the scope of scriptures. Scriptures are not included there. Therefore, they are called Bhakya Mataha. Matam meaning opinion. Bhakya Matam is external opinion. External in the sense they have not internalized the scriptures. So Saha Vaidikasya, now talking that kind of tantraihi procedures, with the procedures, if you discuss it with Vaidikasya Saha Samabhivyaharat, it will be a very great trouble. Vyahara is generally, of course, talking and discussing, and so it is not possible to discuss the Vaidika tradition with the un-Vaidika tradition. So non-Vedic tradition cannot be discussed with Vedic tradition. They cannot be one and the same. So what will happen is, Vaidika anarheshu bhakyeshu cha, in traditions where the scriptures have no play, have no role to play, then bhakyeshu cha in the outside traditions, external traditions, Saivasya Adhikara Uktehe, as it is said that there is right on these traditions when he is a devotee of Shiva, then we are now saying, what is that? So Shaivan Pashupatan Sprishtva Lokayatika Nastikan Vikarmastan Dvijan Shudran Savasan Jalam Abhishet. There is a statement here. So if you consider these people, suppose you happen to touch unknowingly That is the meaning. If you happen to touch the devotees of Shiva and devotees of Pashupati, what is the difference between these two? Generally, Shaivan and Pashupatan are little different in the sense these people, Shaivan, are more auspicious than the Pashupatan. Pashupataha are called a little violent in worship. In the sense, they worship the village deities with all weapons in the hand, terrible to look at. They have terrible appearance. You would have seen at the border of every village some dolls with a horse. Then we call it Kali, Amman, Ayyanar. So many names for Amman. In Chennai itself, there are so many. So many. So we call them Pashupata. Why do we are there? They are called Pashupata, namely they have violent worship. Violent worship in the sense they use hacking of a goat, uh, hen or cock. They kill animals. They kill animals. Sometimes they kill human children also. காவு கொடுக்கிறதுன்னு பேரு காவு கொடுக்கிறது பலி கொடுக்கிறது they are sacrificing on the altar. Yeah, Ayyanar. So these are all what we call Pashupata devotees. So Sprishtva, when there is a touch on these people, two types of people, what happens? Lokayatika Nastika. They are very popular, notorious because of their non-belief in God, disbelief in God. Nastika. They never accept the existence of God. Then how can we touch them? How can they have a control over other traditions of Vaidika? Lokayatika meaning worldly practical people. As though Pancaratra and Vaikanasa traditions are impractical. They are not impractical, but they say, just like we say in Tamil, translated into English, those who do not believe in God are called sane people who can discriminate. Paguttariuvadigal. They can discriminate from good and bad. And they call themselves as what we call non-believers of God. They know everything better than others who believe in God. Then Vikarmastan. There are two meanings for it's a beauty in Sanskrit, but we are now taking the negative meaning. So they don't do anything properly. Vikarmastan meaning they do everything wrong. Whereas we saw that Shaivaha Sarvam Prakurvanti, the previous page statement. Shaivaha, even the first line says, Shaivaha Prakurvati, Prakaroti. Shaivaha Prakurvanti, Sarvam Prakurvanti. They do everything well. But here you understand Vikarmastan. Their actions are bad. Their actions are out of tune. Their actions are opposed to scriptures. And they may be Dvijan, they may be twice born, or they may be the last class, servant class, Shudra. So whether they are highest in birth or lowest in birth, they must enter into the water, meaning anoint themselves with water, purify themselves by touching people like the devotees of Shiva and devotees of Pashupati with the dress on. Otherwise, what does it mean with the dress on? The dress has also become dirty, polluted spiritually. They don't have right to touch the God in Pancaratra and Vaikhanasa temples, nor have a darshan of Pancaratra and the Vaikhanasa temples, because they are what you call asuchi. We say asuchi. We call the word saucham. What you call impurity because of someone's death. We always say asaucham. Asaucham. When a newborn child is born, then we say vriddhi. Vriddhi is growth. That's a good type of what you call taboo. The madi விழுப்பு தமிழ்ல சொல்றோம் madi விழுப்பு. Asaucham is on the death of a person. The family plunges into what you call a polluted situation for the first 10 days. And then 11th day also and 12th day. Thereupon there is a purification ceremony. Ananda Homam is performed. Then we have what you call purity restored. So iti Vijnaneshwara Samgrihita Dharmashastra Vachanena Sparsha Adishu Pariharaniyatvena Prasiddhasya Shaivasya Vaidika Devata Pratishtadishu Mukhya Adhikaritva Jalpanat Lokecha Shaivaihi Vachidapi Bhagavat Pratishtha Adi Anumati Abhavat Tat Sparshadishu Api. A very strong statement of Swami Vedanta Deshika. We already saw that once you want to praise your own tradition, you are a liar in finding fault with the other tradition. That's what we saw as a humor. But whereas here, categorically, Swami Deshika asserts, ASSERTS, that Shaivas, the devotees of Lord Shiva, anywhere, anytime in the whole world, they are prattling, jalpanath. They are prattling, and that meaning that have their important right, or what we call traditional right, to establish gods in the temples following the tradition of scriptures. And there is no permission granted for such people. Bhagavat Pratishtadi Anumati Abhava. There is no permission granted at all. Even if the request permission is not given. What happens is, when they start touching the idols of temples where Vaidika tradition is followed, then what should be done? So the first part of this paragraph, Vijnaneshwara Sangrihita Dharma Shastra Vachane. Now we must understand, read the book called Dharma Shastram, Book of Rules or Book of Duties, as abridged by Vijnaneshwara. Vijnaneshwara is a devotee of Shiva, but still he has given the right method of all procedures. So Vijnaneshwara, he must be a sannyasi by the name as it shows. Sparshadishu, touching is done over the divine figures of any god. Pariharaniyatvena, it must be avoided. Touching God must be avoided. So Prasiddhasya Shaivasya, though the devotee of Shiva is very popular, famous, Vaidika Devata Pratishtadishu, in consecrating or anointing or establishing a temple where the goddesses and gods are following the scriptural tradition, then their importance of right goes to naughts. Goes to naught, N-A-U-G-H. So they are prattling, Jalpanath. So we will take up the next, of course, Sthapite Pancharatrena Deve, Shadbihi Shivadbhavihi, Pratishtado Krite Mohat, Doshaha sarvakshayatmakaha. Supposing a devotee of Shiva enters into the temple of God established by Pancaratra tradition, then he must undergo 6 remedial measures. Shadbihi Shiva Advabi. Suppose he enters and touches the divine figure and worships the Lord in his own Shaiva tradition. Pratishtha Dokate, suppose he has established such a temple, then mohat, out of confusion, out of attraction, out of greed, and so on, then doshaha sarvakshayatmaka. The defect will affect all people's prosperity. The temple will go to ruin, the kingdom will be spoiled, the people will suffer. Now, this is what recently happened in Tamil Nadu. Though we may say the government is wrong, the atheistic government is wrong in damaging or pulling down temples for some reason or other. Our contention should be, it is all our mistake. So the temple tradition has not been followed properly, and therefore atheists can have the liberty, freedom to destroy the temple. That's the meaning that we can get. We don't say that the government is wrong. So Shantischa tasya bhuyopi pancharatrokta vartmana pratisthapya sagasrena kalashai snapanam harehe mahotsavasya kartavyo dhvajarohana purva. This is very simple. So Shantischa tasya bhuyopi pancharatrokta vartmana. As per the procedure, vartma meaning path, P-A-T-H, road, R-O-A-D, procedure, the type of procedure, the process, the right process. As said in Pancaratra, Bhuyopi again, previously, even though the deity is consecrated, purified with holy incantations from scriptures, again, a Shanti meaning appeasing ceremony must be performed. Whenever we say Shanti, Shanti is P-E-A-C, peace. So peace in the sense, peace to the entire society, peace to the kingdom, peace to the country, nation, peace to the minds of the priests, peace to the devotees of Lord. So Shanti is there. Everywhere we say Shanti Homaha. Udaka Shanti we say. For Upanayanam, the previous day is Udaka Shanti. It's not bringing peace to the water, Udaka, not Udaya Shanti. Many people misspell the word Udaya Shanti. It is not done in the morning. It is done in the evening, after sunset also, or before sunset. Here, Udaka Shanti, Udakam water, Shanti, Shanti mantra for, and we say peace for everywhere. We want peace everywhere. Oshadhaya Shanti, even the herbs must grow very well, and therefore they must have peace of mind. All of them are living beings, flora. Apashanti, the water will be not turbulent, will not be turbulent, and therefore water will be calmly flowing. The calmness will prevail everywhere. And also it's called sentiment of quietude. A sentiment of quietude dawns upon everyone because of the Shanti rituals. All Panchabhutas, the grass elements, 5 grass elements, everything in nature should be peaceful, totally. So what should we do? So Pratisthapya Sagasrena Kalashehi Snapanam Harehe. Lord Vishnu must be anointed. Majjanam should be performed. Abhishekaha must be performed with holy water from the pots, Kalashehi, by the pots. How many? 1,000, Sagasra. So we say Sagasra Kalasha Sthapanam. So whenever there is a mistake which occurred in puja, in the worship of the Lord, in the temple precincts, and so on, immediately Samprokshana must be done. It is called otherwise Mahotsava, great festival. So Mahotsava cha kartavyaha. So a great festival must be celebrated by the precedent of Dwaja Arohana, hoisting of the flag. Hoisting of the flag also involves a lot of mantras. You will find Sudarshana, Garuda figures in the Dwajastamba. I think 2 more Keshavdas Swami will supply. And again, maybe the Shankham is also available. So one more. Hanuman or Garuda, Hanuman, Shankha and Chakra, as we have Vaishnava symbols in any invitation, in any, of course, auspicious function. So here, the flag must be hoisted. In order that the Dwajastambam must be established, Alankara is done, decoration is done, mantras are spelt from the respective tradition, and so on.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः.
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய.